I think the first thing that I would like to talk about and have you talk about is I know the story about you're flying along in the bomber, then you guys decide to jump out.
Mm-hmm.
You jump out, and the parachute doesn't open.
Right.
So, what's going through your mind as you're falling down and the parachute's not opening?
Well, actually, when I went out of the airplane, I went out in the rear at the camera hatch, and the hook wouldn't work. So I told the 3 or 4 other guys, "You go ahead. I'll hold the door open." And when they got out, then I sat down on the floor and rolled out, and the door bumped me in the butt. And I think it picked up 10 to 20 mile an hour more, and then I fell till I was free of the airplane and pulled the ripcord, and nothing happened. I pulled the D-ring and the wire, and I looked, and there was the D-ring in my hand.
Oh my gosh.
So I threw that one way, and I had a pair of shoes on in this hand to where when I got in the ground, I threw them, and then took 2 hands and ripped it open. And
it was a chest chute.
Yeah, it was a chest chute, and it came open with a bang. But I was up at 14 to 15,000 feet, and luckily, because what you fall at about 120 mile an hour,
Right.
And I was high enough that it opened, and that was a real jolt when the parachute opens. And then I floated to the ground, and I felt heard these bullets whiz by, and got in the ground, and there was about 5 or 6 young Hungarians, and I took, maybe they were shooting at me, tried to spill my chute, and but they came up, and they were, after I was talking to them for a while, they were decent.
Oh yeah. Did they speak English when you?
It was enough that we could communicate. Yeah, he came over and took a bracelet off of me with my wife's name, and I told him Fraulein, and he gave it back, and then he said something to me, broken English, but I could understand him. Yeah.
That's well. What? So now you're thinking, I'm okay. My parachute didn't open. Now I'm okay, but I'm on the ground in Europe, in the middle of a war.
Right.
Now what? What happens after that?
You got it. Yeah, I was wondering. I was picked up at the time by myself, and then they had a German army truck picked up a few of the other people, and took us into a farmhouse, and there was he was an officer, a German officer, but I swore I walked into a movie setup because he was really slick, his uniform and everything, and he interrogated and told him my name, rank, and serial number. He kept asking questions, and I said, I'm not allowed to answer those questions. It's the Geneva Convention. You know what it is, and I know what it is. I can't answer your question. So I was there for a half hour or so, and then he let us all go. Yeah.
And then, and rest of your crew was in there with you?
There was 4 or 5 of us got together. The others, the pilot and co-pilot, they stuck with the airplane, and it went down in Lake Ballonton.
Yeah.
It was close to Papa, Hungary, and they got out in time, and they went down right at the German-Russian lines.
Okay.
So, yeah, they were fired on until the Russians realized who they were. then they stopped and let them surrender. No, yeah, the Russians picked them up. And then maybe a week or so later, they were back at the outfit flying again.
Oh, but
And,
that's not what happened with you, right?
no, the rest of us, we were captured.
And where did they take you?
In Papa, there was an airfield and a Hungarian airfield, and they put us up there. Then they put us on a train and took us back in to Germany. Went into Frankfurt on the Main, and they interrogated again. And then we went to, I think it was Wetzlar, and they had some supplies of clothing they gave you, and they give you some food. Then we went to Nuremberg. We went to Nuremberg, and that's where we had been there for a while. Then we moved on to Moosburg. That's in Bavaria, and then we were there a short time, and Patton liberated the camp.
Yeah. So, how long was the journey to get to the camp, and how long were you in the camp, do you think?
From Frankfurt to Moosburg, I think we walked that all the way, and that took, I don't know, maybe a week. And we were in there just a few weeks until we was liberated by Patton.
So that's a marvelous story, and I'm glad you got out.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't realize there's more to it after. So you're liberated, and you're with the Americans again. But then what happens?
Patton came in maybe 2 days later, and he talked to us, gave us.
So you met him,
well,
General Patton.
Yeah, not I
yeah, he was. You were.
He was there. Yeah, and he gave us a little talk, and then he said he would send in field kitchens, and they sent in within 2-3 days. We had field kitchens, and they fed us decent, really good. And you'd go back, they'd put so much on your plate, and you'd say, put more on there. No, if you can eat that, come back and get more because their stomach's shrunk.
Right.
So, yep, you go back if you wanted it, but you knew when you had enough. But we were really treated, I thought, good.
And how long did it take you to get back to a base, and then ultimately back home?
Well, we were liberated April 29th of 45, and we were in that camp after liberation for, I'd say close to 2 weeks. And then they sent in the C-47 transports to fly us out. And the first day, there was only maybe 3 or 4 47s got in. So then the following day, we had more, and they flew us to Camp Lucky Strike.
Where was that?
France.
Okay.
Right along the coast. And they flew us low over Germany, and Germany wasn't, and they showed us the destruction.
Yeah.
And it was bad. Yeah, we got into Camp Lucky Strike and took you took your clothing off and threw them away, and got a good shower, and you had a haircut, anything you wanted free. The Germans run most of it. They had the barbers and shoe shine and everything. And we were there for a while, and then they started feeding us really good. And it lasted a while. Then we got on, I was on the SS Monticello, which was an Italian luxury liner before the war, and they converted it to a troop transport. And we got on a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks later, and then we went across the channel to England. I forget what port, and we picked up troops there, and we were, like I said, we was the flagship, and came back into New York, and they took us down around the Statue of Liberty. Even we didn't just pull into port; it took us down around this statue, and people on the ferry boats, they saw, and somehow they knew what we were, where we were coming from, and boy, they went crazier than we did. Yeah.
That's a great story. So, with all the perspective you have to look back and looking at the world ahead, we have a bunch of airmen and guardians coming into our Air Force and Space Force right now.
Yeah.
What kind of advice would you give a young airman or a young guardian as they start their career?
Well, just be patient, and you have to really set your mind of what you're doing. And if you don't, you'll be lost, and you don't want to be lost while training. But I would say just be a good soldier and do what you're to do, and you'll get ahead.
I like the other piece of advice you gave me earlier, the one about when you were falling and your parachute hadn't opened and you had a rule of thumb.
Oh, yeah. That was
be calm. To be calm.
Oh, yeah, be calm, and just don't lose your head. That's very important. Just remember what you have to do. Don't get excited. Be calm, and you'll make out all right. We hope.
Sir, you made out great, in my opinion.
Yeah, I've been blessed in a lot of ways.
So. Well, it's an honor to meet you and an honor to talk to you, and
I
thank you for all you've done for our country and our students.
Thank you. You had to do something to be a 3-star.
Well, I just had to
stick around. 4-star.
Yeah, 3. You just had to stick around. Everybody else left. There was nobody else to promote.